flop to come. And I would imagine that the other players are quite happy to see Flood and Graham Smith square off. Huge flop for Liam Flood. Two pair.
Check.
15.
15,000.
And a very cagey check there by Graham Smith.
I think he didn't like the ace.
Pass.
A lot of times when you raise and you get a call there, they have exactly an ace in the hand, and when the ace flops, you know, it's time to give up.
Queen would make the machine the nuts. And does he suspect larceny from Liam? The fact that there was another player in that flop, Ken, it makes it very hard for Liam to bluff in that spot,
Yeah,
doesn't
exactly.
Pass.
it?
Character dodged the bullets with his ace-jack.
Yeah.
He would have been in trouble.
We would have been out, I think.
You listen to Mad
I
Magic.
don't know.
But,
I don't know.
No, you didn't.
I saw you what, Liam's playing well, but everything seems to be going his way so far also.
Look at the machine. Whenever he loses a pot, it's like he's offended.
Gentlemen, 1 and 2, please.
Huh?
He thinks it's a personal insult to lose a pot.
I think one of the signs of a good player is when the hand is over, it's only just begun, because then they start the questions.
Yeah.
It's like the third-degree interrogation,
Well,
you know?
Well, we have the best player in the world of that's Simon Trumper.
Pass.
I mean, you know, Graham Smith would be right at home as a
Raise.
interrogator in the
6,000 total.
gulag. I mean,
Stop asking these questions, please. I'll tell you anything you want.
Pass.
raise has come from
Pass.
Liam Flood and a flat call from Spencer Carrington with ace-king suited. He's very tricky, this Spencer Carrington.
I think it's just conservative pre-flop.
That may be it.
7,000.
Yeah, Flood got him off.
I would never fold ace-king in this position.
Pass.
Wow.
Yeah, he's just plain conservative.
Close, was it?
Not the flop.
No.
Liam Flood, highly respected in the poker world and well positioned to take advantage of how others see him.
Table image. Let me tell you a little secret about table image. It's not quite as important to the great players who can basically have their way with the table. But for most players, table image is extremely important. If you're folding a lot of hands and playing a good patient game, then you're setting the table up so that you can make some bluffs later. You're going to need those bluffs to survive. If you're playing really fast and too many hands, you're not going to be able to bluff as much, but you're going to get more action when you do have a strong hand. Personally, I like to play a very patient game, especially because, you know, I mean, the way the blinds start in the beginning, it suits that. And then I like to surprise them with some fast play right near the end, and usually it puts them off. They don't know what to do. So table image, start tight and end loose.
Well, he does have 10 World Series of Poker bracelets. Take Phil's advice, you won't be too far wrong. Back down to war being waged. The problem with guys like Graham Smith and Liam Flood is obviously if they pick up big hands, they're going to get action. But you have to give them action when you pick up those aces and stuff, right? You have to stick it back to them.
Raise.
Absolutely.
7,000 total.
They force people out of their comfort zone.
Yeah. They just wear them down with their raises and bettings all the way.
Blake
Pass.
stepping out from the behind the button with the Queen 5 suited.
Pass.
The machine hasn't won a putt for like 8 hands, so he's a grumpy man now. Expect a big bluff from him anytime soon.
5,000 on Scullion, who got eaten up by Blake earlier.
Go.
But
So a pretty wild race there by Blake with a Queen 5. I'm surprised. I didn't know he had it in him.
it is still first level.
We have seen a lot of action.
I know. 15,000 in the pot, and if Scullion hits his ace in the big blind, you wonder how he'll rate it. As it turns out, the ace-8 is good right now. But this is kind of Blake's pot, isn't it?
He might call this with an
9,000.
ace high. Good solid bet by Blake. This is not An easy call.
Scullion's a Belfast man. Here qualifying from the Winners Club up that way. This is good
Yeah.
stuff. Oh, his hands are shaking though.
Yeah. He figures Blake didn't hit the flop,
25,000.
and I might have the best hand. And even if I don't, he might fold. This is a good, solid check raise.
It's very gutsy stuff. He's just stuck. It's not a small check raise. He's just stuck a quarter of his stack in. 25,000 total. And
This pot is over.
I mean, was there any way that Scullion could get any information that he didn't think Blake had a hand, or was it just a complete stab in the dark?
It was a stab in the dark, but he read the flop perfectly. It was
Okay.
7-3 deuce. I mean, what could Blake really have?
The Irishman
Debbie
has
Cheek.
something to say right now. Little smile. That's the way to play.
See what happens when you win a pot. Stop the talk. You know that?
That'll teach you raising my big blind.
Yeah, well, that's one thing that'll definitely happen. Tell you what. Talk about a rush of blood to the head. Blake just did a few chips, but it is Liam Flood who's kind of running over this table. Look at Harker's betting frequency. Still in the first level here. The game has been very fast, and there's been a lot of action, Ken. 16 hands, and there's still a couple of hands left in this level.
Jesse, you and I, we are two genius. We predicted fast play with the machine and Liam Flood, and we were absolutely right.
I wish you get paid extra for that.
We actually should get paid extra for that.
I mean, all we have to do is talk. No one ever said we had to be right.
Pass.
Fold it around here to Harker. And from what we've seen of Harker, would you be surprised to see him fold this?
Yes.
If I can get rid of you, then I'm
Right,
in position.
6.
He's not folding it.
That's fair comment.
Graham Smith's starting to chafe a little bit. They haven't let him raise a pot for about one round.
He could easily check, I mean, re-raise here.
And it's lucky.
He really wants to play.
Yeah.
Well, when he's on the button, he considered the small blind and the
You
big
know, from
blind
the north
his
of
blind.
British.
So raising is like picking on him in his big blind. So he's offended now.
No?
You're right. That is my button, says
Yeah.
the machine, Graham Smith. I mean, to a raise, King 9 is generally considered a complete piece of sausage.
Absolutely, but you know he won't let anyone steal his blinds.
Okay, I'll pass. That's the way you feel
Liam
about it.
Flood's big blind. Flop to come. I mean, as it turns out, the King High is leading right now. But,
He doesn't care. He just doesn't let anyone steal his blinds.
and do you think,
Check.
Check.
I was going to say, Smith
Check.
capable of making a move here?
Near you.
Oh, he got it.
Check.
Beautiful
Check.
check. You know he's gonna bet it. You just know he's gonna bet it. It's a beautiful queen for Harker.
Yeah, Harker's played this very cagey.
7.
No, I'm just going to flat call you.
Call.
That's even worse, says Graham Smith. Now I might have to bluff the river.
Oh, look at that!
Oh, that's great.
Check.
And, is this a bit unfortunate for Harker, or has he made a mistake by not check raising?
Obviously, it's unfortunate. He's only a 3-outer,
7.
but
You might have just got lucky there on the end.
You know what I have?
Well, I may just pay you just in case.
Another one.
Another one.
Yellow.
Actually, I'll
Don't
give you
you
that
get
one.
Wow.
in cheap?
Call.
Both these guys
Hundred
called it
bucks.
right.
Let's have a look, lads.
Yeah.
I'm calling him.
Come
Don't
on.
want to expose
Come
it.
on. Let's see it.
you're called. Please show the hand.
Yeah, he'll have to.
See you spanners.
Is that the high
Not
card?
bad about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
So he's slow rolling. This is bad
Yeah.
poker etiquette. He should be ashamed of himself. You got lucky. You won the
That's not what I
pot.
wanted to say.
I mean, there's no need to slow roll your opponent.
That's what-
It was an interesting hand, though. If you think about the flop, turn, and river, I mean, I feel like the machine could have won that pot on the flop, and Harker could have won it on the turn.
Yeah, but forget about that. He was slow rolling. In the old days, he would get smacked in the face.
I remember, interviewing old timer, what's his name, in Las Vegas, and he said, you know, some of the stuff the guys do on TV these days, if they did that in
Price
Texas, we would have broke both their arms and one of their legs.
Yeah.
Pass.
Well, these internet guys, a lot of them, they